Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Wanted to do a quick update on the potential for tropical development in the Gulf of Mexico. Things have really accelerated here in the past 24 hours in a couple of ways. First of all, the system is gaining a lot more strength, a lot quicker than expected, and it's got a subtle shift to the west. If you look closely, this is the radar and satellite together, you can actually see the low-level circulation appears to be, I would say, right in here somewhere. There's a little swirl. Now, with these kind of setups, it's always difficult to kind of figure out where the center is going to end up forming, because what often happens is if the big time thunderstorms stay to the east like they're doing right now, there's a chance that the center could relocate to the east or right, but in some cases it may relocate to the west. But the fact that the center is trying to form on the west side, displaced from the thunderstorms, is starting to lead towards more of a westerly track with the system. And what am I talking about as far as that track is concerned? This is a look at the guidance so far this morning, and if you look closely, we'll zoom in real closely to areas in the Gulf of Mexico. The circulation was initialized pretty much where you just saw it on the visible satellite image. As it moves towards the Florida panhandle, the spread isn't too bad. There seems to be a pretty good clustering, I would say, roughly right around the Big Bend area, just to the east of Panama City. That seems to be the clustering. But the interesting thing to note is yesterday all the clustering was way over here, and it's clearly shifted back this direction, and now we're getting some more outliers similar to what the NAM's been saying for a while. So that'll be an interesting trend to watch as we go through the next couple of days. Then as it moves up towards, I would say, the Carolinas, this is where things get a little interesting. The track has definitely shifted closer to the Piedmont of North Carolina. When you look closely, you can see we've got a big cluster of tracks right there east of I-85, west of 95, and a couple through the mountains. Now, I'm going to tell you, this shift to the west probably is important to us, but probably isn't as important to what else is going on in the atmosphere. And here's what I'm talking about. Let me show you back to this map here. We've got a couple of things going on up here in the United States that are going to be a player in this system. If you look closely, we've got this little disturbance in front coming through the middle of the country, and we've got an old cold front that is kind of sagging, I would say sagging south, but actually maybe drifting north now as a warm front here over the southeast. So the combination of this area of low pressure, whatever it becomes, it really doesn't matter, moving up here, interacting with this system, and then this weak little front here is going to produce widespread rain here across the southeast. This is kind of the old sandwich play that we get sometimes in these situations. So let's start looking at some of the information about strengthening, non-strengthening, shear. There's a little bit of shear in the northern Gulf. I'm not anticipating this thing becoming big. When you look at some of the guidance for intensity, pretty much all of them are clustered around weak tropical storm, less than 40 knots. Could become Andrea, probably tropical depression. Weak tropical storm is the max this system has for it. But here's the problem. This is the NAM model, NAM4, that just ran this morning. So this is the 12Z run. Notice all of the thunderstorms forming even later today in association with the deep tropical moisture already advecting into the region, as well as the old front that's kind of moving to the north. You see all the storms. Watch what happens, though. It brings the low right up through the same area that most of the guidance is clustering, the Big Bend area there of Florida, and it interacts with that second front coming in from the west. And you can see by Friday, we've got some serious rain issues around here. And the reason this is a little problematic is we'll have a stalled front, but we're also going to have you get that upslope flow into the Appalachians from the southeast and from the east. And anywhere along the eastern facing slopes of the Blue Ridge, we could have some huge rainfall totals. I'll go out even further here, and you can see the low tracks up by Saturday morning. It's moving up into Virginia. How much are we talking about? This is the precipitation totals from the same model, the NAM4. I'll stop it here. Right there, look at those totals. I mean, look at that. That is huge. The totals in the mountains, if you look over on the right there, these areas in here, whoops, let me get my other freehand tool here. You can see inches of rain in these areas. I mean, that's just amazing to see that much precipitation there. And then look over here, you see the totals. Some areas could be approaching 10 inches. The temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico, not really warm, but warm enough to sustain a weak tropical system as it moves to the north and east. If you're thinking about the other models, the GFS, while it is still to the east along the coast, it's now just slightly inland, so it's actually shifted back to the west. This is the 6Z run. I'm waiting for the 12Z data to come in. And if you're looking at the European, this is just the rainfall. It has the track right inland as well. So the two models that were really far to the east or almost on the coast or offshore, the GFS and the Euro, have shifted back to the west. So there's a pretty good sign that eventually this western track may be a little bit more in the cards. And then you throw in all of this mess we have going on here. We've got this, we've got the old front here, we've already got deep tropical moisture advecting into the region. This is going to be a huge rainmaker. I would expect there to be flash flood watches issued for many areas of the Carolinas, maybe starting as soon as tonight. So I'll keep an eye on it. Stay tuned to my Facebook, my Twitter account, and of course I'll have complete coverage starting today at 4, 5, and 6 on NBC Charlotte.